Now, protesters have gathered inside a Philadelphia Starbucks where days before black men were arrested while waiting for a friend. Although the coffee chain CEO has apologized for the incident, community members express outrage and say they are not sold.
I felt extremely sad. I felt really, really sad. And I shook my head. I felt disgusted. This is not the first time that I've heard about something like this. It's probably the 1000th time. But it's 5 blocks from my house. And it was for no reason
the
at all.
CEO of Starbucks with the mayor and some of his staff. And, you know, to me, it was all lip service. I'm not sold.
And to give us more details on this story, I'm joined in by our correspondent Mohammed Saleh, who's joining us live from the newsroom. Let's quickly go across to Mohammed. Mohammed, what is the latest that you can give us on this news story now that it seems to be escalating further since protesters have now gathered in the Philadelphia Starbucks?
That's exactly correct, Akansha. Remember, the incident actually happened last Thursday when 2 men who were sitting at the Starbucks cafe, they wanted to use the washroom. They'd not ordered anything at the Starbucks cafe, for which the store manager had called the police in, which resulted in the arrest of the 2 men. The police actually handcuffed them, fingerprinted them, photographed them, and also detained them for almost over 9 hours before they decided that there were not enough compelling charges for the men to in fact be charge sheeted with a case. Now, what has happened since then is that protesters have in fact barged into the Starbucks cafe. A lot of them have in fact come forth and said that, look, this is clearly a societal problem because there was no reason whatsoever for these 2 men to be treated in this manner, but for the fact that they happened to be black. They were in a space which is a public space. They had not done anything wrong. The police was called in, and also the manner in which the police has behaved in this case has again brought forth the entire gamut of protests that we've seen over the course of the last several months in terms of the manner in which the police has treated especially young black men. Now, there was absolutely no reason to protest is what several of the activists have been saying, because remember, the facts of the case are fairly clear. The protesters have also demanded that Starbucks should act, and Starbucks should take action against the store manager who had in fact called in the police. At this point of time, the Philadelphia Starbucks coffee shop, we were given to understand, had been shut down briefly by the protesters, who said that if you cannot serve properly, then it is better that you shut down. If justice is not done in this case, and if people are not held accountable, then Starbucks should not be allowed to function. Because there are several things which needs to be looked at here in this case, Akansha, because the manner in which the police have acted is something that is called into question, as to have black youth are in fact treated by the police. The police chief, the commissioner there, in fact, went on to defend the manner in which the 6 policemen, all of them happened to be white, who at that point of time decided to arrest these 2 young black men. Now, there are several ways in which this little incident could have been resolved in a very different manner. Right. Some people said if the 2 young men were saying that, look, we don't want to actually exit from the shop, even though the store manager was asking them to, perhaps the police could have asked them to just exit from the shop rather than ensuring that they were arrested and then held at a police station for about 9 hours. So this is something which has again brought to the fore the manner in which the police has been handling cases of this nature.
Right. Also, Saleh, since you just aptly pointed out that this is a clear-cut case of racial profiling, and in this gamut, not only does the police feature in, but what about an international chain like Starbucks?
Starbucks has been on the fighting mode ever since this incident actually became public. There's been a lot of outrage on social media. The Starbucks CEO, Kevin Johnson there, he's put forth a couple of tweets where he has said that what happened was reprehensible. This is the word that he has used. He has said the policies that we've got, the procedures, the standard operating procedures, and also the manner in which the Starbucks staff will be trained will have to be changed. Because at the end of the day, remember, the store manager there, we're given to understand that the store manager has been removed from her duties. We're not sure if she's just been internally transferred to another Starbucks coffee shop or if she has been given the sack. This is not clear. But what Starbucks is in fact here trying to do it because this is a major PR embarrassment for them. Starbucks is extremely popular, not just in the United States, but across the world. And for an incident of this nature to have taken place, clearly points to the fact that Starbucks acted out of haste in terms of their store manager there calling in the police, because these two men who were sitting at a coffee shop and had not ordered for anything to eat, this seriously is a bizarre sort of a situation, which could have been handled completely differently. And also the manner in which the police has acted, because remember there were a couple of incidents which had taken place in the last recent weeks, where, if I could just finish this point of the police in fact having dealt with the black protesters in a completely different way, where there was an individual, a young black protester, who was shot dead by the police because the police officer there believed that he was holding up a gun, and the investigations later proved that it was essentially a mobile phone that he had in his hand. So this is again what has been brought forth, the manner in which the police also deals with some of these young black individuals in cases of this nature.
Agree with you, Saleh. Completely agree with you. This case actually brings forth, not just another case of racial profiling and discrimination, but also, the US police's role in terms of these, racial profiling or discrimination cases are concerned. Thank you so much, Saleh, for bringing us all those updates live from the newsroom.